G'day guys, I found an old DB990 for $500, so snapped it up. Pretty similar to my other one, there's a few slight differences. It seems to be in better condition, in terms of less rust. Levers and things work on this one, whereas the other one was pretty well seized up. It doesn't run, but it does have a front end loader, so that's mainly what I bought it for. If I can't get it running, I'll just transfer that over to my other one. Bit of rust on the rams, but if it's leaking too badly, I'll just replace some seals. It's been sitting in a paddock for about 7 years. Apparently it just stopped, and he was having fuel issues with it, and it would have cost too much to get the tech out there to fix it, so he just left it there and just decided to get rid of it. We had to tow it over a river to the road to get it out of there. It was quite an eventful extraction. Also, because it's not running, the front end loader wasn't working, so we had to get a bit of wood and put it in there, and we put a winch over it and just had to winch it up manually and tied it up there so we could tow it. But it all seems to be there. It does have a set of forks and a bucket which go with it, but I didn't bring them because I was getting near the weight limit of my trailer, so I'll go and pick those up in a few days. There's an old registration tag on there, 1971. So that's older than me. It's got to be a good 45, 50 years old. I'll just try and get it running. Might be something simple. Then again, it might be a broken conrod or something, I don't know, because I haven't even tried to turn it over yet. On the side of the block there, I don't know if you can see that, there's some sort of glue or something, some JB weld maybe. So I don't know what's happened there. Maybe it's spat a conrod out at some stage and they've welded it up. But it sort of looks like there's a weld under there, and then they've slapped something on there to stop it leaking. So that could be a problem. There's no oil in that power steering reservoir, so it's probably got a leak somewhere. I guess it's been sitting for 7 years. Any little leaks are going to drain the whole lot out, aren't they? Check that gearbox oil. It's a wee bit milky, there's not a lot in there. Before I spend too much time and money replacing all the fluids and that, I'll just try and establish whether it's going to run or not. Oh yep, there's fluid in there, that's good. It's got oil. Too much oil. There's no water in there. That's a good sign. Fan belt's come off. The water pump still moves. It's an eggshell. What the hell? Must have been a rat up there or something. So I'll get it off the trailer, give it a good wash down, and try and find somewhere to park it. I'm running out of room. That was a bit sketchy. I left it in gear and tried to stop it by dropping the clutch, and the back wheels just slid along, so I had to just ride it out. I really should do something about these slippery boards, even just like cut some grooves or something with the chainsaw, because there was no grip there at all. Obviously been a rat nest in there at some stage. Man, they make a mess, don't they? Just to get rid of all this old grass and rubbish. Less chance of having a fire there. I better check that airbox just to make sure there's no rats or birds in there. Don't really want to be sucking those through the engine. That doesn't actually look too bad. I won't go too far into anything until I've established that it is actually going to turn over, and then I can come back and clean everything out. Usually there's a little knob there you're meant to pull out to start it. Oh, there it is down there. The end has come off it. So I'll just pull that out. It turns the fuel pump on. Oh, there's the key down there. Alright. Oh, well, that's a good sign. That starter motor's turning it over. There's a bit of dust and crap coming out of there. Well, that's a very good sign. It means it's not seized up. No broken conrods or anything. So I suppose the next thing to do is figure out if it's getting fuel. Oh, smells like fuel, so it's getting some fuel. That's awesome. It is actually turning over quite slowly, so I'll just check to see if there's any bad connections. They show themselves up by heat, so if there's a hot join, that means there's a bad connection. It all feels alright. Can't feel any hot spots. Maybe it's just that starter motor. I'll have a look at those fuel filters. Make sure there's no water in there. There's a few water droplets, but nothing major. That's not too bad at all. It almost looks brand new. So we can go back in. That one actually looks quite clean as well, so I'll be happy putting those back in for now. Alright, I'll clean out this pre-filter. It's got a hand pump on there as well, so I'll make sure that's all clear. Oh, she's getting fuel to there. There is actually a little bit of water in there, so try and get that out. Right, let's see if we can purge all that air out of there. You can see it's starting to come out of the top of that filter, so I'll tighten that plug back up. There was a wee bit of water in those filters, so that's all flushed out. So it's got a better chance of starting now. Oh, that sounds beautiful. So I'll put some oil in the transmission and the power steering and see if it's going to move under its own power. That's the next thing, I suppose, if it's it could be a clutch problem or gearbox, but at least that motor runs. Man, that sounds mint. That took about 5 litres of oil. It is leaning over that way a wee bit, so I don't want to overfill it. Alright, I'll start her up and try those hydraulics. Beautiful. Oh yeah, hydraulics work. Nice. Oh yeah, work. Whitetail. See that whitetail up there? Nasty little spiders, poisonous. One of the only poisonous things we've got in New Zealand, but they're quite common around here. So I squash everyone I can. They can give you a nasty bite actually. Just get some hydraulic oil on a rag and wipe those rams. Get the worst of that rust off there. That one's got a bit of a groove in it. It's in pretty rough shape, but anyway. She'll do me, I think. So if you pull in a ram that's got rust and crud on it, it can rip up your seals a bit, so always a good idea just to give them a wee clean if they've been sitting for a while, especially if they're this bad. I'll give that a going over with some fine sandpaper later. So I'll try those gears and see if it moves under its own power now. hopefully. Well, it is moving alright, but it was quite juddery on this side, so I'll check those final drives. I suspect they're dry. I see someone has put some silicone sealant around there, so it's obviously been leaking. But hopefully that's all the problem is, like just a dry gearbox in there. That's not too bad actually, there's oil in there. This one looks like it's been leaking as well. I see all the oil over the rim. Actually that one's alright too. Because it's been sitting for so long, there's probably a bit of rust on some of the gears, so I might just need a bit of use just to wear that rust off it. That was a bit of a mission, but got them up there. Man, they're pretty heavily built. Solid as. You can see that hydraulic cylinder rod is quite bent, so it's not retracting all the way in. So that's the first thing I have to fix. I could take it in the shop and get them to do it, but that'd cost hundreds and it's a lot of mucking around with the connectors and that. So what I'll do is just build a press around it, put some angle iron underneath and support it there, and then I'll make some sort of frame up above and put the jack in between and just push it down. I think that's probably the easiest way to go about it. I reckon that should do the job. It's pretty heavy duty angle iron. I mean, I could probably just push it down and let the ram support it, but then there's all that pressure is going to be going on that piston and seal, so might as well support it up here. So I'll leave it there for now and order some parts and come back another day.